Kyuukyoku Tiger, or Twin Cobra as it's known in English, is a vertical shooter developed by Tourplan and released in Japan by Taito. Released at a time when there were so many shooters, it's understandable that Tourplan would want this game to stand out from the crowd. Visually, it most certainly does not. There are loads of shooters that look just like Kyuukyoku Tiger, however none of them play like it. While this game doesn't feature anything special in the way of power-ups or stage design, it does feature some pretty impressive computer AI. The enemy always seems to know where you are or will be. No matter where you place yourself on the screen, those enemy helicopters will be all over you. So as you can imagine, this game is no easy ride, but it's incredibly satisfying each time you complete a stage. One of the first home ports for the Mega Drive, this port was developed by Graphic Research. Yeah, I've never heard of them either. While the Mega Drive port looks worse in the graphical department, it sure makes up for it in the audio. The music in this Mega Drive version is far superior to the arcade game, as you can clearly hear. Playability wise, it's a very close if not a perfect copy of the arcade game, ranking it pretty high on the good arcade port scale. Micronix ported Kyuukyoku Tiger to the Famicom in Japan with pretty decent results, which is surprising considering the amount of rubbish Micronix have made in the past. This port is obviously watered down quite a bit, but it does try to stick to the arcade stage design and enemy patterns. The computer AI in this version is nowhere near as good as that found in other ports, but for the Famicom game it's not too bad. Taito handled the port to the PC Engine, and what a wonderful job they did with the graphics. It looks far better than the Mega Drive version and even the arcade in some areas. However, the sound isn't as hot and neither is the gameplay. This is not to say that the PC Engine port doesn't play well, because it most certainly does. However, the AI isn't as close as the arcade version as that of the Mega Drive. Still, you may actually prefer the way the PC Engine game plays. Definitely worth checking out. While people in the West were playing substandard crappy ports on their Amiga and Atari ST computers, gamers in Japan were enjoying amazing arcade ports on the Fujitsu FM Towns and the Sharp X68000. This FM Towns port is fantastic, looking and playing like the arcade, complete with different resolution modes. You couldn't ask for anything more, and just check out that killer arranged CD audio soundtrack, my personal favourite of all the ports. What's surprising is the Sharp X68000 doesn't have the best version of Kyuukyoku Tiger. While it plays and sounds like the arcade, the actual screen resolution is more in line with the console ports. It's also missing that amazing FM Towns remixed audio. Finally, we end with the PlayStation port, which can be found on the Tourplan Shooting Battle 1 collection. Unfortunately, my copy of the game freezes on the loading screen. Typical. I can tell you that the game basically looks like the arcade game, but sounds like the FM Towns version, as they share the same arranged soundtrack.